What should parents be worried about with adolescence and substance use? Are kids more sophisticated than they were in previous generations? How do we best teach our children?
So you know how I love to read.
I do.
So I was looking at the NPR website the other day, and there's an article about how kids aren't drinking and driving as much anymore.
What's that attributed to?
Well, they talk about a multifaceted approach, which means that through various means, so family, school, peers, maybe church, kids are learning not to drink and drive, that it's dangerous. So I thought it was really great that something's working.
So after all these years, the campaign is finally working about Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
that was one of the ones they talked about. But, you know, they talked, too, about marijuana use and how it continues to be the most commonly illicit drug used with kids 12 and older.
You know, the West is becoming the Wild West of marijuana.
Yeah, but isn't there something going on in Colorado that you were telling me about? Parties or something?
Cannabis parties.
What is that?
They're having parties at art galleries. So it's becoming very accepted and very normalized. Instead of serving wine at art galleries, they're serving pot.
That's my point. So you have an 11-year-old, they see that on the internet and they say, "What? Well, that's..."
And now they're calling them ganja entrepreneurs.
Okay, ganjapreneurs?
Ganjapreneurs.
Wow.
There we go.
So that's, I guess, what I'm saying. So how do you counteract that as a parent? How do you educate your kids about it if in our society we're kind of weaving it into...
Well, I wonder if they just have a conversation with them, like, why are you smoking pot? What does it do for you?
But what if they know their parents smoke pot? Like, hey, you taught me how.
Well, that's a problem. That is a real problem. And why are the parents smoking pot? And what example are they setting for their kids?
Because, and how does a parent not get preachy? That's really hard to do, right? Because you feel as a parent that you need to, you know, keep your kids safe and talk a certain way, right?
Right. So especially if those parents are smoking pot, the kids are going to look at them like, well, who are you?
Well, hasn't it always been that way with alcohol, though?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that a lot of homes in America have alcohol in them.
Right.
And parents may say, don't touch that.
Right.
You know.
So that it gets to do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but somehow this article said kids were getting the message about alcohol. Question is, what's going to happen with marijuana? You know, how to educate, how to help them understand the risks. So there are risks with that too.
Right.
And even, I know I was reading something about kids getting high and then driving. But that's as much a problem as getting drunk and driving.
Absolutely.
But maybe they don't get that
Absolutely.
yet.
Right, because they view it as a natural substance, and they don't really view themselves as being impaired.
Right.
But just chilling out and relaxing.
And
they may even think that they do better on test. That they're more focused and they can take tests better, or they can drive better, or they're more alert. When actually that's not the case at all. They're more impaired.
So do you think parents should be educated themselves?
Absolutely.
And know, like, what's going on out there? What are the stories that could be influencing their kids' choices?
Right, absolutely. And I think one of the things that, you know, that I hear a lot of are that now people want to go for that medical marijuana card. Because they think, you know, if it's legalized, all they have to do is get the medical marijuana card, and they're good to go. But really, what are the long-term effects? And what was the medical marijuana card really designed for? Wasn't it for like cancer and glaucoma and you know? I mean, anxiety and depression doesn't necessarily rise to the level of needing a medical marijuana card. There are other ways to treat anxiety and depression.
So there are a lot of questions for parents to think about.
Right.
Parents themselves need to be educated. Parents need to know how they're approaching kids. Parents, I think, also need to know what are kids learning in schools about drugs.
Right.
Hey, we want to hear what you have to say. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and look at the links that we've included below because it covers all the information we talked about.
And you can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Truth About Crazy. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Melinda. See you later.
See you later.